HDR, dual 4K to the limits, and all the bells and whistles you may wish from a dash camera in the end of 2024. Packed with the name REDTIGER F77. Is it really the right one? Let's inspect. Hey everybody, welcome! Great to meet you, Michael here, the Tech Mishka. This is the model F77, something that, according to the manufacturer, REDTIGER, is the first on the market equipped with a front and rear 4K image sensor belonging to the Sony STARVIS Generation 2 line, something that I feel is the best that a car DVR can be equipped with in late 2024. And I've had the pleasure to try it out for the last month, even brought it to Thessaloniki, where the traffic is quite crazy. Spent a few weeks here in Sofia in the regular traffic conditions, and managed to record a lot of footage, identify a lot of strong sides, but also some weaknesses. So this video is all about my experience. Let's go! Daytime footage samples come first. What we see here is the perfect blend between exposure, colors, contrast, saturation, and so on. The F77 is not even crazy sharp, as we notice some other dash cameras tuned, and yet the footage seems to carry really a lot of details. REDTIGER go for HEVC compression. The high-efficiency video codec is famous for being able to store as many details as the popular H.264, but at much lower file size. Therefore, the 30 megabits per second you can see from the front camera are equivalent to up to twice higher bitrate at H.264, and I'm trying to say that the front camera performance is close to perfect. Of course, you may be more curious about the rear module, because it is also a 4K one and supposedly on par with the front. Well, somewhat. This here has been a very tricky situation on a very narrow street with a steep slope. The image quality is apparently excellent, the bitrate is a bit lower, maybe because of the processor, and in order to maintain proper temperature control, respectively avoid overheating. Speaking of which, both of the modules are a bit bulkier than usual, and both of them seem to have design that looks like a heatsink. I doubt it's just a coincidence. Nighttime footage is of course more important. This is where most of the dash cameras get really challenged. Not the F77. Just like most other dash cameras that run the same Moto Sony STARVIS 2 image sensor, very detailed, with HDR, which is notable from these extra vibrance on the red colors, plenty of details, and the dynamic range, which is already better than what the human eye can detect in real time. Yeah, the F77's front module is clearly among the best tuned dash cameras for low light to date. What is even more fascinating here is the performance of the rear unit, which, as stated already, has the same sensor, therefore very similar performance to the front camera. Yes, what we see appears to be a bit darker, because the headlights are on the front, remember? But the fact that the lights from the cars behind are not completely washing out the image is fascinating. I can't recall seeing a better rear camera performance yet, so maybe at the time of making the video, the REDTIGER F77 undisputedly wins about this category, with an important remark that I'm going to showcase in the installation part. But before we get to it, let's explore the design and the build quality, and then the specs. Good pack for sure, rather compact, very weird title. Come good, whatever that is supposed to mean. I like the fact that REDTIGER offer you the user guide first. Reading it makes good sense and helps a lot with finding out how to get the optimal results. There's apparently a smartphone app and a PC viewer, both. Here's the front unit. I don't know if REDTIGER and Nubia are connected somehow, but yeah, feels like their gaming smartphone's design signature. It is a bit big and somewhat heavy, but for sure well designed. A big display which supports touch controls, hardware buttons at the bottom, a display control button on the side, adjustable mount, and 2 ports at the top. The rear module looks quite similar, just a bit smaller. Definitely worth praising, because we rarely see consistency between the front and the rear units with most of the dash cameras out there. Here's the power adapter, some mounting accessories, and that's pretty much it. The specs here are quite interesting because we talk about not just one single bold decision. You already know that both the front and the rear cameras are equipped with the best dash camera 4K image sensor coming from Sony. There's 170-degree ultra-wide optics, 4-inch touchscreen, dual-band Wi-Fi, option for parking mode, a supercapacitor and not a battery, 128 gigs inbuilt storage, inbuilt GPS module, the dash camera supports a few voice commands, and as mentioned, a smartphone app. These are some really solid specs, and it's obvious that whatever we say about the front camera is mostly accurate for the rear unit as well. For example, the field of view, well, REDTIGER claim it is 170 degrees and there is no good standardization about how manufacturers are measuring it, so let's say it is as ultra-wide, not any wider or narrower than most of the competitors out there, and distortions are tolerable. In terms of image quality, I think we are already certain that the quality is quite superb. I think most of the people would be somewhat surprised by the storage implementation, because besides the microSD slot, we also have inbuilt 128 gig eMMC. So you get the dash camera, and even without an extra card, you have internal storage. And I'm pretty sure that some people are going to point to this as a possible weak point. But here, in my wife's car, I've deployed more than 4 years ago the DD Mini 3, another dash camera with 32 gigs eMMC, and guess what? After driving for such a long time, usually 4 or 5 days per week, it's fine, no issues. Therefore, I don't have any concerns about the longevity. To me, I think the more irritating part is the fact that copying files happens a bit slower as compared to what it is from a micro SD card. In terms of design, I feel that REDTIGER have been really thoughtful. The whole thing feels like a heatsink, and it's pretty safe for hot climate conditions because there is no battery. As opposed to that, we have an inbuilt supercapacitor. Now, time to talk about the installation and figure out whether the shape and the weight would have any negative impact. In short, somewhat. Mounting the front camera is pretty easy. Use one of these screen folios. They're a bliss when it comes to unmounting or changing the position on the windshield. The usual reminders to carefully choose the spot so that it is close to the upper middle part of the windshield, stays within the area cleaned by the wipers, and still remains out of your sight most of the time. I usually rely on my own pre-installed cabling. However, here it is better to use the L-shaped cable provided by REDTIGER, because without the L connector, it's gonna be awkward. So remember, what I use here is not the stock cable. The real challenge with the installation is the thickness of the wire for the rear module. It is seriously thick. In most of the cases, it's going to be quite a challenge to hide it behind the rubber seals. I somehow managed to, but I really believe that there should be some thinner cable options available. Other than that, the rear module is a good fit and can easily be adjusted. REDTIGER include a parking mode feature with the F77 too, and the configuration lets you choose between collision detection and time-lapse modes. I'd go for the latter one in order to be on the safe side. If you plan to use the parking surveillance, make sure to purchase the hardwire kit, which connects to your car's fuse box, and the installation is a bit more specific, might require the need to use a multimeter or maybe get it done by a professional. Another audio test, and this time we have the REDTIGER F77 in focus. I'm currently driving with about 67 km per hour, maybe 30 centimeters away from the dash camera, and that's the quality of the inbuilt microphone. Let me show you the configuration possibilities now. They are a lot, and when I say a lot, I really mean it. Luckily, with dash cameras, there is no such thing as too much, and thankfully, with touch controls, the configuration can happen much quicker. Therefore, I totally approve this idea, having a touch screen, but also keeping the good old hardware buttons. Among all the resolution adjustments, the GPS data, the clock, the language settings and so on, there even is a mode to test the speed of your SD card, and this is important, otherwise the dash camera may be unstable or fail to save some of the files properly. Speaking of storage, up to 512 gigs micro SD cards are supported on top of the internal 128 gigs. What I couldn't find in the menus is a way to copy or transfer some of these files to the external card, maybe an idea for future firmware enhancements. There is some extra software available too. A smartphone app is a starter, which can configure the F77 and has access to all the menus that you've just seen. But it can also let you preview and download some of these files to your smartphone on the go. Speed is on the good side, since there is 5G Wi-Fi implementation. Additionally, there is a software piece which lets you review the recordings on a PC with real-time telemetry. Sounds like we've covered most of what we need, but how about the drawbacks? Nobody's perfect, so if I may wish for certain improvements, I'd like to have a wake word for the voice commands, a thinner cable for the rear module, and such a lovely performing dash camera certainly deserves LTE module option, as well as a cloud feature. Such are missing as optional components at this point of time. This last bullet, I'm pretty sure that some people are going to recognize it as a really big advantage, because if privacy really matters, staying away from cloud subscriptions and apps kind of gives good peace of mind. And that's everything I wanted to share with you about the REDTIGER F77, which is close to perfect. Stellar image quality, but not just that. We add the very tolerant about temperature construction, the excellent rear module, the very rich on functions menus, therefore smartphone app, and basically everything that we tried was working reliably and didn't have any issues or glitches, which is extremely important about delivering good user experience. And I feel that we've seen this success formula implemented with other devices already, namely providing more or better features at a price which is matching or even lower than what the competitors are offering. I think F77 could be an excellent deal and a very good continuation of the pretty decent reputation that REDTIGER have built around the previous F7N model. So let me know what you think about it. In case you have questions or you want to share about your feedback and experience, the comments below is the right place to do it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel for more cool tech inspections, and support me by using any of the affiliate links which are posted in the video description area. And thank you very much in advance. Drive safely and responsibly, and I, Michael the Tech Mishka, gotta see you in the next one. Bye!